Harold worked for 38 years as an electrician in Pittsburgh. Every paycheck he put a little aside. Not much, but consistently for decades. By the time he retired at 67, he had managed to save $220,000. He was proud of that number. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough. Enough to live quietly, help his daughter with her kids, maybe take one trip a year down to Florida. Then a man named David called him. David sounded like someone Harold wished he had met 40 years ago. Confident, friendly, knowledgeable. He said he was a financial advisor specializing in retirement accounts. He said he had a fund, conservative, low risk, designed specifically for retirees who couldn't afford to lose what they had built. He said the annual return was between 9 and 12%, guaranteed. Harold didn't know much about investing. He had always kept his money in a savings account. But 9 to 12% sounded a lot better than the 0.4% his bank was giving him. He asked David to send him some paperwork. The paperwork looked perfect. A professional logo, charts showing consistent returns over 15 years, testimonials from other retirees, a phone number, a website, an address in downtown Chicago. Harold called the number. David answered on the second ring. He wired $40,000 first, just to test it. 3 months later, he received a statement in the mail. His $40,000 had grown to $44,000. He could see the balance, the gains, everything laid out clearly. David called to congratulate him. He said the fund was doing exceptionally well. He mentioned that some of his other clients were moving larger portions of their retirement into it. He said Harold should think about doing the same, not to pressure him, just as a friendly suggestion. Harold thought about it for 2 weeks. Then he wired the remaining $180,000. For the next 8 months, statements kept arriving. The balance kept growing. On paper, Harold's retirement account was now worth nearly $260,000. Then the statements stopped. Harold called David. The number was disconnected. He went to the website. Gone. He wrote to the Chicago address. The letter came back undeliverable. He drove to his bank and asked them to help him trace the wire transfers. Both wires had gone to accounts in Eastern Europe. The money had been moved within hours of arriving. There was nothing left to trace. Harold filed a report with the FBI and the FTC. He contacted the SEC. He hired a lawyer with the last $4,000 in his regular checking account. The lawyer told him the truth gently but clearly. The fund never existed. The statements were fake. David was not a licensed financial advisor. The website had been registered 6 weeks before David first called Harold and deleted 3 days after Harold stopped receiving statements. It was a Ponzi scheme, a small, targeted, professional one, aimed specifically at retirees with modest savings. Harold lost everything he had saved in 38 years. At 69 years old, with bad knees and a heart condition, he went back to work. Part-time at a hardware store, 40 minutes from his house. Now let's talk about how this scam works, because it is more common than most people realize, and it is getting more sophisticated every single year. The investment scam targeting retirees follows a very specific pattern. It starts with trust. The scammer either calls cold or reaches you through a referral, sometimes a friend who was also scammed and doesn't know it yet. They present themselves as professional, credentialed, experienced. They have all the right language. They mention things like fiduciary duty and diversified portfolio and capital preservation. Words that sound safe. Then comes the number that seems too good but not crazy. 9 to 12%. Not 100%. That would raise flags.
Just enough to be exciting compared to what your bank is paying. Then the test period. They let you put in a small amount. They send you statements. They show you gains. This is the hook. Because now you have seen it work with your own eyes. Your brain says, "This is real. I have proof." Then comes the pressure to go bigger. A friendly suggestion, a limited window. Other clients who are moving faster. Urgency wrapped in warmth. And then silence. Here is how you protect yourself. Before you give a single dollar to any financial advisor or investment fund, look them up on FINRA BrokerCheck. It is a free government database at brokercheck.finra.org. Every licensed broker in the United States is listed there. If the person calling you is not in that database, hang up. Second, guaranteed returns do not exist. The stock market goes up and it goes down. Any fund promising you a guaranteed 9 or 12% every single year is lying to you. Full stop. It does not matter how professional the paperwork looks. Third, never wire money based on a phone call or an email. Always verify independently. Call the firm's main number, not the number on the email, the number you found yourself on their official website. Ask for the advisor by name. If they don't know who you're talking about, you have your answer. Fourth, tell someone before you invest. Your son, your daughter, a friend, your accountant. Scammers rely on secrecy and isolation. One other set of eyes on that paperwork could save you everything. And fifth, if something feels off, it probably is. Harold told me later that something felt slightly wrong from the very beginning. A small voice in the back of his head. He ignored it because the paperwork looked good, and the voice on the phone was so reassuring. Trust that small voice. It has kept humans alive for a very long time. Harold is 71 now. He still works at the hardware store. He says he doesn't regret being trusting. He regrets not having the information he needed to protect himself. That's why I make these videos, not to frighten you, but to give you what Harold didn't have, the knowledge, before it's too late. If this helped you, please share it with someone you care about. One conversation could change everything. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Every week we cover what's really happening to real Americans in retirement and what you can do to stay safe. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.